Weapons are dangerous, of course. For this reason, all weapon owners are subject to a strict procedure for buying, for using it, for keeping it. But this works. We, the liberal conservative reformers, reject all further regulations for legal weapon owners. We fight against bureaucracy and we fight for the self-determination of our citizens. For us, it is very important to think what are the interests of our citizens in our member states. When I talk to Germany, there are over 2 million legal weapon owners. A lot of them, they do their sports every week. They need regulations which take sure that they can do their sport. We must be aware terrorist attacks were made with illegal weapons and not with legal weapons. This is a very big difference. And so I ask, why should we punish all legal weapons owners when they use their weapons in a very sensible way?
Hello everybody who is listening. My name is Jussi Halla Aho. I'm a member of the European Parliament from Finland, representing the European Conservatives and Reformists group. I'm a member of the Home Affairs Committee and a substitute member of the Internal Market Committee of the Parliament, both of which were responsible for dealing with the Commission proposal for a new Firearms Directive put forward at the end of last year. I was and I continue to be opposed to the Commission proposal because I believe it goes in way too far and in the wrong direction. It is essential for the credibility and the legitimacy of the European Union and its institutions and EU law that all restrictive legislation, especially if it's retroactive, if it affects people's legally held private property, it must be proportionate, fair and balanced. Unfortunately, the proposed new Firearms Directive is not proportionate, balanced or fair. The most striking example of the problems in the directive is the proposed nearly total ban on semi-automatic sporting rifles, which, as all sport shooters know, have absolutely nothing to do with criminality or terrorism. Yet terrorism and crime are mentioned constantly by the Commission as reasons why this type of firearms should be banned from civilian ownership. There are many other problematic details in the Commission proposal, as well as in the Council position and even in the European Parliament position, such as the mandatory time limits for firearms licenses, which do not increase security, but they increase legal uncertainty among gun owners. It's very difficult to invest in your equipment that you use in your sport if you don't know whether you are going to be able to keep your weapons or whether some authority will take them away in a year or two. Also problematic are the mandatory medical checks, because everybody understands that you cannot make sure somebody is mentally sane based on an interview of 15 minutes by a policeman. I would like to add that I appreciate very much the work that the civil society, ordinary citizens, hunters, gun collectors, sport shooters have done during this process. It has made a great impact on the politicians. You have to understand that although some politicians are fanatically anti-gun, fanatically against private ownership of firearms, most politicians are not. They are simply ignorant and they don't know very much about this subject. It's crucially important what the civil society has done to inform decision makers about the subject, about the technical aspects of this question. Keep doing what you are doing. We will fight until the end. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Thomas W. Stepin and I'm the President and the CEO of the Firearms United. Firearms United is the European organization representing the interests and the civil liberties of 200 million gun owners, legal gun owners in Europe. You might ask yourself, what is Firearms United? Because we are quite new organization in Europe. Basically, a year ago, we were nowhere to be seen on the scene. But after the November 2015, when the European Commission has launched yet again the proposal for Directive 91/477, commonly known as the EU gun ban, we created this organization to defend our rights, to defend our liberties, because we are law-abiding gun owners in Europe. So basically, we woke up on that day after the Commission launched their attack on us. And we are here today at the European Parliament launching a conference on the impact assessment of the EC Directive 91/477, because the European Commission, in spite of all the laws and regulations, never did this work. We did it for them. We did it thanks to our supporters who supported us with their work, efforts, information and money when necessary. So, as said before, we are here to oppose the European Commission directive because we believe and we know that this is unfair, unjust and biased against the shooters community. But in all of that, one more time, I need to thank the European Commission for waking us up. A year ago, you woke a giant, and we're not going away. Thank you.
My name is Katja Triebel. I'm with Firearms United now in the 3rd year. And when I heard that the trilogue will get an outcome without impact assessment, I said, well, then I write our own impact assessment for Firearms United. And I've read all the 4 European Union studies. I've read all information in the last year and every memo and every word which was said about the Firearms Directive by the Council or the Member of Parliaments. And I put it all together on 30 pages. In these pages I will now show the other guests and parliaments, politicians. Even doing nothing would have more positive impact on illicit firearms than the proposal or even the trialogue. And even doing nothing would be a less bad impact on the civil owners and trade. So there is no reason to open the firearms amendment. There's enough reason to close the 4 loopholes of alarm weapons, of deactivated firearms and of the marking an essential part, and more collaboration on the outer borders and cross-border crime. Legal firearms are no threat, they are no risk, they can deter crime. Stricter access to legal firearms will rise gun crime. It won't combat gun crime. Let's have a look at United Kingdom.
The Commission proposal of November 2015 was meant to address the criminal use of illicit firearms and their use also in terrorism. However, the drafting was done so badly that what this proposal affects is the law-abiding owner, the law-abiding user. In our respect, as an organization that represents collectors, the damage that results from this directive is immense. We are talking here about the destruction of historical artifacts, the permanent damage of historical artifacts which are kept by museums, as well as the freezing of museum collections. So whatever the intentions of the Commission were, the end result is damage to the law-abiding owner. And furthermore, it is also damage to faith in the European project. This is what the proposal has managed to do.